Morning, everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk Stroke. I am your host and stroke survivor, Jerry Wall. And for those of you that are new here, I started doing this show to bring awareness to stroke, TBI, aphasia, brain injury, um, and also to provide a platform for all survivors to share their stories, their journeys, what they've been through, and what they're currently going through. Um, and also bring on experts in brain health to share their knowledge so we can learn more stuff about brain injury. So this morning, my guest is Tamyra Keller, and we're going to chat about her journey as a caregiver to her late common law husband who passed away due to a stroke. And we'll get into that. So also make comments, ask questions, and also if you want to just subscribe to a YouTube channel, Let's Talk Stroke, please do. So let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, Jenny.
Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
All righty. Okay. Kelly, nice to see you here too. So again, please ask questions and make comments. So let's go ahead and bring on Tamyra.
Well,
Good
first of all,
morning.
I want to say good morning to Jenny and Kelly. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Exactly. I'm glad
Yeah,
you're here.
while you were, introducing me, I could see them popping up over here on my right side.
Oh, good.
And
Good.
Andy, good morning. Hi to you too.
Nice to see you, Andy. Good. And yeah, please ask questions and comments, whatever you like to do. Um, but yeah, I'm so glad that you're here, Tamara.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we could probably just go ahead and get get started. So, I know Roger passed away in 2015.
He passed away 2015. As a matter of fact, he passed away on Labor Day weekend of
Oh,
2015. And that was like the in over 20 first time in over 16 years that I had missed the air show, going to go see the air show with him. So from where we had hospice on him at East 185th Street in Cleveland,
wow.
I was able to go outside of the hospice facility, and because it was over Lake Erie, I was able to see the air show from there.
Right.
So without really going to the air show, I still got to see the air show because of all the Blue Angels, the B-52s flying over. So I still got to see the air show, and 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 it was quite intense because they're at the end. I was the one who had to sign him into hospice because I knew the level of care that he needed and the level of care that I was um, able to give him. The two just didn't quite match up.
Right. Now maybe we could just rewind the clock because you two were, I don't want to say, you were common law, so you're married. So before that, you were both working, doing things, and what led up to that?
Um, Basically, I was coming out of a really bad relationship with my ex husband, and I was asking him for guidance going through a divorce because I'd never gone through a divorce before, and it turned out that him and I were a rebound romance that wasn't supposed to work out, but we made it work for 16 years, so it worked out really good.
Right.
And and we really got to know each other as people, and we have a lot of private conversations about different life issues. And one of the issues that we talked about is like, what happens if one of us should get sick? What are we going to do?
Yeah.
And that's when we decided to get all of our ducks lined up in a row. So I thought, so when he ended up having his stroke, I found out later on he didn't have all of his ducks lined up in a row.
Right. Yeah.
So that made it very difficult for me um, because he wanted me to take and handle all of his affairs, and I had to get somebody from the the, the Veterans Administration Commission of Cuyahoga County um, that had to go with me to explain to him about how um, they want to handle, they want to take care of all of VA stuff, but they need to give me power of attorney. He needs to
Right.
give me power of attorney. So that's how he took care of that. And from that point on, and that was within 2 weeks of him having a stroke.
Wow.
Um, I was able to read like the summary notes, the diagnosis. Prior to this, starting in September of 2014, I started having this one continuous nightmare, and that's what it was, that he was going to die.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, so I went through this twice.
Yeah.
Once
Well.
as once as an empath, and I was already under a mental health counselor's care at that point, which really was a big help, because if I wasn't under a therapist's care at that point, I really would have lost my mind.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely. Yep. Wow. What caused? Because leading up, you said you noticed his balance and something like a year prior or so, right?
well, starting a couple of years before he had a stroke, I started to notice he was having some medical issues, and the main one was the fact that he was having balance issues, where like he would start going upstairs, he would start falling backwards. So I had to make sure I had to go like this and put
Right.
my hand on his back so that he could get up the stairs to go use the bathroom.
Right. Right. Wow. So, wow. I see Jenny's asking, what caused his stroke?
Up to this day, what caused his stroke, and all I could do is advocate here, was that he was born with a rare genetic disorder,
Wow.
um, that there would have been no way to avoid him not having a stroke.
Really?
But the other thing too, and I strongly advocate for this because I made these changes for myself, is get away from margarine. Get away from margarine. It's one molecule removed from being plastic. That's one thing I got rid of. Get rid of the margarine.
Wow.
The other thing too is that I really started scrutinizing and looking at all of the additives that are put into our food, and I started looking at our food and going, you know what, this isn't good for me either. So my biggest thing, that for anybody that's just a caregiver that wants to learn more about how to have a healthy lifestyle, definitely get yourself an appointment. Go to a dietitian.
Right. Right. Yeah. I know you changed you have ways of eating, your health. That's a we've changed, but after the stroke.
Yeah. So it was kind of like a twofold thing.
Right. I see you on
Hello,
here.
Deborah. Good to see you too.
Yes, and I miss. We said there's Kelly, Christy Starr. Nice to see you, Jana and Lynn. I hope I don't miss anybody. But you guys, thanks for being here. And again, ask questions. Um, that's
Wait
true,
a minute.
Kelly.
Annie brings up a really good point here. I've said this to my family, but I think it's maybe harder on the carers than it is stroke survivors. Um, Andy, yes and no. We go through what you go through, and whenever you guys have a setback, as a caregiver, because I'm an empath, I take it more personally. I take it more to heart that when you guys have a setback, it's a setback for me as well because we're all in this together as caregivers and survivors. And that's why we are such great advocates for why we're doing what we're doing now.
Yeah, yeah. When we have our stroke, I mean, you experience it as well too. You know, not understand 100%, but it affects you as well.
Yeah, what a lot of, and like Andy said, she, like Andy said, that it's harder on the carers than it is for the survivors. It takes a person to have a stroke in order to become a caregiver.
Right. Very
So
common.
the
Yeah.
the two are work in tandem.
Sure. Exactly. Kelly saying you're a perfect advocate. Wow.
Thank you, Kelly.
Exactly. And I see Jenny. I loved all these comments, you guys. It really
Jeannie
exciting.
DeSantis, I'm an empath, so I know empathy, feel others' emotions and feelings very strong. Yes, you're exactly right about that, Jeannie.
Absolutely. Yeah. So so now what are you doing? I mean, you definitely it's been since six 6 years. Wait, 2015. You passed away.
It'll be 7 years in September that my husband passed away, and at the time when he passed away, I had no sense of closure when it came to being an empath,
Right.
and I had more questions. I had all kinds of questions and no answers. So, like my journey that I know it as I know it today
Right.
started the day that he passed away because I knew he was no longer coming back to me, and and it's like, what am I going to do? How is my life going to go on? My life is empty. My husband is gone, and
Right.
that's still very much emotional part that I still get very emotional about
Oh, absolutely.
because you got to find your own identity all over again.
Right. Right. And how do you do that, or what do you do for that? Nice to see you, Michelle, uh, and Deb.
Oh, how sweet! Replying to Michelle Renee, hey, beautiful. Yes, definitely. I like that one.
Exactly.
Positive. That's a positive buildup. Your life isn't empty because you're a strong lady. That's from Jeannie.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I cried every day for 3 years
Yeah.
before I could get it all out of my system. And I was like in deep grieving. And my first year of grieving, I had a what they call grief counselor that would come out once a month.
Right.
And she would give me homework to do for me to look at different things of how am I going to move forward. And at that point, my brother, who owns my condo, was asking me, called me up, not even a week after my husband had died, and said, "Hey, what are you doing a year from now?" I'm going, I don't even know what I'm doing an hour from now. My husband just died. What are you talking about? I'm grieving.
Sure. What that mean?
Turns out that I would end up moving out to Oregon. So that first year that he had passed away, I was packing and I'm grieving. I'm trying to
Sure.
work through this grieving and I'm packing and I'm going to be moving and I'm doing all of this crying. And it was a very, very upsetting time for me.
Yeah. Oh, I can't imagine. Wow. But you're doing better now.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, um, the hardest part is working through the grieving
Yeah.
because you still there was still the fact that I bills had to be paid every month.
Right. That doesn't go away. Sure.
I've got to eat.
Right.
Um, at this point, I'm grieving. I'm trying to settle his estate, packing to move, and I have to open up his estate because he left too many um bills unsettled.
Sure.
So because I have power of attorney and because he didn't, and according to our state constitution, because I had power of attorney, that automatically made me power of attorney over his estate.
Wow.
So I went, opened up his estate, notified all of his bill collectors, and not one of them turned in any, while the estate was open, not one of them turned in anything for collection from his estate.
They didn't go to collection.
Not, no.
Wow.
And I
Wow.
notified all of the collectors, and they decided to all go by their own rules. So after the gavel came down, I was held harmless. That the judge decided because we were not legally married, I'm not responsible for any of his bills.
Wow. Even though the common law.
It was common law, but under Ohio, there was no such thing as common law. So out with common law.
Yeah. Absolutely. Jenny, good comment there. Jenny.
Uh, Jeannie puts that's where I was settling his estate, especially in grief.
Oh, yeah.
Um, actually, when that gavel came down, after that gavel came down, and I was going to be held harmless for any of his bills, that was a big lift off my shoulders
Yeah.
because that way I've already answered to everybody I was supposed to answer to, and anybody who didn't answer to me at that point after the gavel came down, I didn't have to answer to anybody because I had that I had the ruling in my I had that ruling
Yeah. In
with
your
me.
favor.
Yeah. And through all of this, one of the people that there was one person I ended up getting into trouble with the Ohio Bar Association that they forged my late husband's signature on Social Security forms.
Oh my God.
And we went to the Social Security office, and the person that helped us was the same person that helped me get my Social Security going.
Wow.
He was a supervisor. And
Wow.
when I explained to him what was going on, he says, I'm definitely going to make this a personal project of mine. And 2 months after he had died, the same, the assisted living place that he was in, and they were not what they call stroke recovery certified. So you got to be real careful about where you send somebody
Right.
that's had a stroke. Insist that they send him to a stroke recovery place, not in an assisted living place, and demand to see their licenses to see if they are certified in stroke recovery. If they're not, get your loved ones out of there.
Wow. You are such a big advocate. You've learned so much over this. And Jenny's asking, how long did the estate ruling take?
15 days.
Really?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. For some reason, I thought it would have been a lot longer than that.
Well, the referee that I had, and God as my witness, I'm not making this up. His name was Referee Gideon, as in Gideon's Bible.
Wow. What's the odds of that?
Yeah. So I sat down. I sat down with him, and he said, "You've done everything you can. You're using your Social Security money here. We're not allowed to legally have an estate where you're using your own money." Boom. Money gets returned to me.
Oh, nice. Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, you still have those grieving moments. Um,
Not
yeah,
as often. About the only time it really gets to me now is probably around 10 o'clock at night, because that would be normally like our like our evening. That would be about the time that we would our evening talks.
sure.
That his rough spot for sleeping was like 10 p.m. till about 2 a.m. after he had a stroke.
Wow,
So
that's a yeah. Those days you miss. I see, Jenny. You see her comment that I put on the screen there for you. You should, yeah, because you do.
the
You
one
have.
about living places and stroke certified.
Uh, well, she says you should definitely become an advocate for those in your late loved one's shoes, especially the part about assisted living places and stroke certified. That's so true. I mean, who would know that?
Whoa, wait a minute. Here's a long one, and this one's even got
Okay,
a
this
link.
yeah, this is one. If I'm gonna block and gosh,
Oh no 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 no! This is a scam.
oh yeah, there are. I don't know
That's a
how.
scam.
Yeah, I don't
This
know.
this this post is a scam.
Yes.
Yeah, flag that one and get it off of there. I don't like seeing that.
Yeah, I'm something went wrong. I'm reloading the page here. Gosh, I don't know. What the only thing I can do is
No, this is a good one because I get these in stroke recovery at home or anywhere else, and I'm out there and I'm deleting them and blocking the authors. Delete and
yeah,
block the authors. That's what I do.
yeah. I'm just so it's not on there for now. So yep. Okay, it was. I just blocked him.
I can still see it over here in the comments.
Yes, yeah. That's the thing is you guys
I
can
don't like them blocking the comments like that.
right. Okay. Oh, that one's still there. It won't come out. So you guys make some comments quick. Yeah, you definitely have to be careful about scams. I agree. We never very rarely do we get them, but some people can just pop in somehow, and it's unbelievable.
I
Um,
know.
yeah, I'll keep it like this just until it goes away. But yeah, keep making comments, guys, and then it will go away. But wow, so that's quite the. You could see the comments still on the side there
It's
for now.
such a shame that they feel that their agenda is more important than the stroke survivors that are part of this group.
It really is, and you have your own groups that you belong to. Yes,
Thank you, Jana.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Jana. Absolutely, Tamara's
Well, Kelly's
very.
asking a question. How do you stay strong here?
Yeah.
Here's one. Scammers don't care.
How do you stay
They're going to
strong?
block it out. What they're going to do is they're going to keep commenting and pushing that comment out is what they're going to do.
Yeah,
That worked. That
yeah,
that
absolutely.
worked.
So there's a great question Kelly's asking you. How do you stay so strong?
My well, before my husband passed away, we had a really intimate conversation about how um his his path was going to be ending, and he made me promise him that I would carry on without him. And and this still touches my heart so deeply, and it's a promise I can't break. But he told me that, and his exact words are, even while he knew he was dying, he was still comforting me as my husband. And he saying, "Well, dear," he's like, "my path as your husband's going to end here very shortly, and your journey is just beginning. I want you to promise me that you're going to stay strong for yourself, not so much for me." And I said, "I could do that for you." He's like, "I've
Wow.
given you everything that I could teach you, and it's up to you to take those tools to really take everything that I taught you as my
Wow.
wife and to carry on for both of us. I want you to promise me you will do that." Now, when a person is passing away, you can't break a promise to them because it wouldn't, it just doesn't.
Yeah, let's bring this up. I think we're safe here to do this. You guys will come out, but I'll have to bring these up just in a minute. Here, so Deborah, you can see it on the screen. And we're gonna have some into yours. What
Yeah,
a
I
beautiful.
saw that.
You did, yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah.
look, there's Tammy straight with smiles and hearts. Well, thank you, Tammy. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That would be something I would do.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Forever forward.
Yes. Great comments, you guys.
Kelly Grant, you are a rock, Tamra.
Yeah. Exactly.
I just somehow, after I moved down here to Oregon, I here's what got me off. This is what got me onto like where I'm at today, and this worked out really good. Was that when I moved out here from Ohio, I was having problems with my benefits and nobody told me anything about what I have as far as like my Oregon Health Plan and my Medicare, my Medicaid, and Medicaid is OHP. But what I didn't know was that under my open plan, there were a lot of things that I was not eligible for because I had moved from another state, but they couldn't because I transferred my social security from Ohio to Oregon,
Right.
they couldn't cut me out of any of that. Oregon couldn't cut me out of any of that. And that's when I got going to find out what was going on with my benefits and going, well, isn't there some type of a subcommittee or anything like that that I could be on so I could start advocating for better health benefits? And and at this point I was also reading where people were losing their homes and their bank accounts because somebody was having a catastrophic illness. And about that point, that's when Jerry and I were members of Aaron Avila's let second chance stroke survivors, is how Jerry and I got hooked up.
Right.
And as the group grew bigger, well, there really wasn't enough room for like people like Jerry and me, so we just kind of like moved on. And Jerry gave me a home here with Let's Talk Stroke, so I'm not homeless here in the stroke survivors community. And I'm glad that I do have a home and that I can talk and share with you what's going on. And I see all these comments popping in, and I appreciate the show of support because I advocate not only for the stroke survivors, but I also do advocate for the caregivers as well. And the way that I found my voice is just the way that you guys found your voice working with Jerry, that we all worked at this all together because you never know that one word could trigger somebody's memory and
Right.
bring back something that they would like to share, or there's something that you tried and you found that this worked out better than this, and that may turn on the light bulb over somebody else's head. You never know. Um, but I really believe that you have to be a strong. But for what I went through, you're right. Jeannie, you're right. I had to be incredibly strong because I knew in the back of my mind, I knew he was dying, and the promise that I made to him, and this is what I'm going to share with you, is that I promised him that if he ever got sick, I would take care of him, and yes, he could die at home, and that was the promise that I made to him.
Right. Absolutely. It's a great promise.
Right. And so, so it all comes back full circle.
Yeah.
So after he had passed away, that's when it dawned on me. It's like, well, I don't have anything here in Ohio that's holding me back from anything. So, I mean, I knew I was going to be moving, but I didn't think I was going to be moving that soon. After, as a matter of fact, from the time that he died, September, October, November, December, January, February, 7 months later, I was moving out here to Oregon, and like the house that my brother bought, I end up coming in the house that I'm in now. I moved into on May 25th, 2016.
Yeah. That's pretty quick after.
Yeah, so we're coming up. It'll be 6 years that
Right.
I moved out here, and it's going to be 7 years in September, Labor Day weekend, that Roger passed away. So if you guys ever, if you want to, if you want to celebrate an anniversary, go celebrate Labor Day weekend
Very,
because
very. Yeah.
that's the last of the summer holidays, and and personally myself, out here in Oregon, it's kind of an iffy situation that um, when it comes down to barbecuing, we have like what we call a burn thing,
Yep.
because we have like a lot of wildfires.
Yeah.
And and if you're not in one of those states where you don't have to worry about wildfires breaking out, do me a favor on Labor Day, go Labor Day weekend, go and do some barbecuing because that's what we love to do. We love to barbecue.
Yes. Absolutely. Um, I agree. All your comments, pretty amazing. Yeah, Jana, we're a big community family. You are a welcome for forever. You are welcome. Okay. Jenny, it was a nice comment here too. You have a strong voice that can impact others in shoes of what you've been through. So true. And you do things now with like Facebook, whatever. You have some groups that you're really in, like you, um, that we talked about that with other groups that you're doing.
Oh my God. Let's see. One of the subcommittees that I'm on is called the 1115 demonstration waiver. And what that is that here in Oregon is that we put an application into the federal government to raise the poverty level for people that have had a catastrophic illness such as a stroke or a heart attack, and the medical bills are getting to be too much, and people are up losing their houses, their cars, and what have you not. And we're trying to raise the poverty level on that so that people in Oregon that end up having a catastrophic illness will not end up being homeless as a
Yeah.
result of an illness.
Wow. Yeah, that's
And
great.
that's the biggest one I'm on. The other one that I'm also on is that I'm also involved with the Oregon Department of Transportation, where we're trying to rewrite our whole transportation bill, that'll affect us for the next 30, 40, and 50 years from now. And I have my first focus group on that, which went really good. And the Oregon Department of Transportation project is a 2-year appointment, which I have something to do with as well.
That's
And
terrific.
then there's a bunch of like these bunch of different webinars from the Oregon Health Authority where I signed up because I want to know first, because anything that has to do with adult people adult people with disabilities. I'm a part of the APD in my state. Not to mention, I was the original first chairperson for our Disability Service Advisory Council, but because due to COVID, that all of that had come to an end. So that really put a kibosh on what I call being able to get more active members involved with our Disability Service Advisory Council. And I'm one of the original founding members of that group too.
Right. Wow, you
Um,
so busy.
oh, that's not even counting the fact that on the mental health side, there's my mental health side where I'm a standing member with a group called Gobi Caucus, and Gobi stands for Greater Oregon Behavioral Health Inc. And Gobi in my state is who pays our mental health bills for us when we bill them for something. And I've been a Gobi Caucus member with our consumer group now coming up on 6 years.
My gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
How busy you are. Real quick, Deborah, happy birthday. Oh, on Labor Day. That's okay. Um, yeah, and Jenny. And Mike Peters, nice to see you. He's
Well,
saying just a
early.
strong lady.
Oh, sorry about that, Jerry. Early happy birthday, Deborah. I'll be sure to look you up on Stroke Survivor. Let's Talk Stroke, and I'll wish you a happy birthday in our group because that birthdays are so important. With
Yeah,
I mean, let's face it, if it wasn't for birthdays, we wouldn't be here.
true. Exactly. I agree. Yes, you are a legendary caregiver, is what Kelly's saying to you. That's great. You're doing so much, and that I guess that's a good thing that you're keeping busy, so you're not thinking of the worst and 'cause
No, you can't.
no,
It,
not
it,
at
it's
all.
difficult. You can't. I can't motivate myself to get up and motivate myself on the fact that my husband is no longer here. It's very difficult. You have to find you got to find something primary that's really going to that you're going to motivate you. For
Yeah.
me, that motivation was my brother buying me a house, giving me a shovel, and said, dig. And I had to dig out all the weeds around my house in order to create my own flower beds.
That's great.
And I did all the work myself.
Wow. Do you
Today,
think? Oh, go ahead.
today, um, today is the first day that we have no snow or ice down on the ground. So I'm going to be able to get out and do some raking of some leaves so I can get my yard cleaned up because I'm going to be doing a really big landscaping thing this year using whiskey barrels and some seeds that I bought from RH Shumways of different flowers. That's all I grow are flowers.
Right. Nice.
And 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 it's good therapy for me because in that when I had all these questions and no answers, one of the things I started to get into was meditation. And it's through the meditation that I was learning where to go, where my happy place is. And that's the other thing that helps to keep me strong too. Because when my mind is grounded and I'm focused, um that helps me to stay focused on the subject that I'm talking about.
Right. Right. So, what do you tell people that are going through you know, since you're such a big advocate in the stroke world, mental health, what would you tell somebody that's going through, like beginning stroke or some kind of brain injury?
Um Well, Kelly Grant says it best right here. Mindfulness is key to happiness.
That's right.
Um, I think that's a good way to start this off. Um, I basically, what I do is I'll reach out to that person in personal message and talk with them one on one because I do better one on one
Right.
because I just kind of want to kind of feel like where are you at? What are you going through? Because some people may not always appreciate you wanting you to tell them what they need to know, that they would rather find that out for themselves at times.
Right.
But for me, I always like to do that personal message and do a reach out and let them know that if they ever want to talk, if you ever get a minute, if you have a free minute in your day, here's my home phone number. Give me a call because there's just too much to share, like we're doing now. Uh, Look at what Andy wrote.
I
The
saw
world,
that.
the world
So
needs
true.
more people like you, Tamra.
Absolutely, Andy. Great. And Mike Peters, too. I love this lady.
Hi,
Yeah.
Mike. Nice you were able to join us. I didn't see you there before.
Yes. He's out there in the UK, South Wales. Jenny, great comment there. You see Jenny's comment?
Jenna Massa made a great comment. Yahoo! Spring is here. You and me
Exactly.
both, Janice, because I can't wait to get out and do my gardening.
Yeah. And Jenny's asking, or you ever think about going into social work and advocacy? That's a big word for me. To those in need.
As a matter of fact, I already do that part time in the mental health field. Um, with my Disability Service Advisory Council meeting, my Gobi Caucus meeting. Not to mention, on top of that, I also belong to a subcommittee called Innovative Brainstormers, and we're a part of Eastern Oregon Coordinated Care Organization.
Wow.
And the complexity of how our medical system is set up in Oregon is that we do it via way of subcommittees.
Wow.
And these are people that actually work in the field. Um, hey, Jenny, on your last comment, advocacy on what programs are you available? Um, let me personal message you about that because I'm not on any specified programs when it comes to advocacy. But if Jerry sees fit, if we can start an advocacy program through our Let's Talk Stroke, like he done with Salute to Linda. I really think it's time for us to start an advocacy program for our show here. What do you think about that, Jerry?
I'm all for it. I think that's terrific. Um, that's exactly true, Jenny. Because a lot of
Yeah,
people are lost, right? I mean, that's
yeah.
yes, it's tough. I know, Johnny. Jenny, you made another comment here too. I'm going to bring it up. It says, in order to qualify here in New Jersey, anyway, you're not allowed to have assets amounting more than 2,000 to qualify for Medicaid, or they seize everything. Hmm.
Wow.
That, that kind of stinks. Uh, Marina, nice to see you.
Hi, Marina. Where's Marina at?
Well, I see that Jana is saying hi to Marina, so I just said hi, Marina, because I know you're out
Yeah,
there.
that's
Then,
what I did too.
yeah, I know it's all good. It's good, but you guys, thanks for being here. I appreciate it, and I know that
Remember earlier? Remember earlier I told you I had to go take my cyclobenzaprine?
yes,
Well, lately, um, my damage is on my left side.
we never. Yeah, I know, Marina, it's okay, but we never ever talked about. You had a like a traumatic brain injury, or you kind of
I still do.
yeah, you got in a
As a
rubber
matter of
area.
fact, like right here, if you guys take a close look, you can't see it on camera, but right here, this part of my forehead is raised.
And what happened? What happened? You were
I
in a
was hit by a drunk driver back in 1993, a month before my mom's birthday, July 25th.
wow.
Um, as a matter of fact, my that was a separate journey in itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and I according to what the police officer told me, he says it was miraculous that I even survived that wreck because his back bumper locked my front bumper and he broadsided my car 5 times on a double yellow line road. He went left of center on a double yellow line road and I was turning left.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
And my head hit the steering wheel 5 different times.
Wow. Yeah. What?
And he left the scene of the accident. And the police
Oh,
wanted to write me up for leaving the scene of the accident. I went, nope, I'm the one who gave him the choice to call. And my insurance company will have something to say about him leaving the scene of an accident. And they're like, well, we smell alcohol. We want to field sobriety test. I'm like, no, you field sobriety test him because I'm at work and I'm not allowed to have alcohol in my system. And I
wow.
kicked and I kicked up my heels. I held my ground. I even told the officer that when the field test, I'm going, by the time I get done with you, you're not even going to be able to wear your badge if you don't fill. I'm the one who followed him. I'm the first one that responded to the scene of this accident. It's my accident. I'm in charge until your OIC gets here. You're gonna follow my orders, and
Right.
that's the way it goes. Because I'm making a felony citizen's arrest.
Wow. That's incredible. It's a good comment, Jenny. You really, Jenny, you see, Jenny, I love that you make all of y'all. I love all this. Um, Christy, nice to see you. I know I saw you earlier, but but yeah, Jenny, that's exactly right. The TBI, very similar part of the brain. You're alive for a reason, hon. You
Well,
have a purposeful purpose to fulfill. Absolutely. I mean,
hello, Christy Star. Great show. Thanks for sharing, Christy. Thank you for joining us.
absolutely. All of you.
Hello, Marina Ramos. I can see it over here on the right. Finally.
Yes, I know she's such a wonderful person. Well, all of you are. Nice to see you, Marina, as always. But you're a blessing. Yes, you are. To you. Well, shoot. Let's. Any last comments?
No, not that I could think of. What about you, Jerry?
Well, first of all, I appreciate you um, being on the show. It really means a lot to me. Sharing your journey, what you've gone through as a caregiver, and also the TBI that you've had. You know.
Well, with the left side, I get reminded every day what damage that I suffered from being hit by that drunk driver. I've got a 40% total disability in my range of motion. I can only raise my arm up about this high, and that's when I feel the pain across here.
Yes.
And when I pull it out straight, when I'm in the middle of having like nerve and muscle issues,
Yeah.
if I go any higher than this, I feel the pain. It just shoots all the way down my back and all the way down my leg,
Amazing.
and that's sciatic nerve damage.
Yeah. Yeah. That sciatic nerve is a pain in the nerve.
Well, like my favorite expression that I like to use is that it's a monumental pain in the glutamus maximus.
Exactly. So true. Absolutely.
I like to keep it clean.
Yeah. Oh, you've been so clean. Uh,
yes, 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 Janet, you're right about that one too. PETA. We'll just leave
Exactly.
that.
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah. Well, the other thing that helps to keep me strong too is that you got to go through life with a sense of humor. You
Ah,
got to have a good sense of humor because you never know what's going to happen next.
right. Laughter is best medicine.
It is, and when we laugh, like when somebody says something funny, or like when we're among our own in our own company, and somebody does something that reminds us of something that we would do that's funny at that moment. It never hurt. You're not laughing at the person, you're laughing with the person, but
Right.
make sure you give an explanation so their feelings don't get hurt.
Right. Exactly. Oh, that's funny. Look at
Because
this.
I can remember there one morning I was trying to get up from my chair, and for some reason I just couldn't get up at that moment, and I fell back in my chair, and I'm going, "Oh my god."
Yeah. Strange.
It's like, oh, I wonder what my stroke buddies go through. There's a lot of times that I'll I'll pop into and monitor what's going on in the group, like three or
Right.
four times day I pop in, and and every now and then and again, I'll pop in just to say hello and see. But it looks like I'm gonna have to start popping in a lot more often now.
Absolutely. Yes, you will have to. We'll see you, Jana. Thanks for stopping by. And yes, you are a strong lady. Amazing. Thank you, T.
I like the one. I love that you promote laughter. I I'm my best comedy. Yes, Kelly, you got that correct too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And
Well,
Jerry could also tell you that when we were doing the pre-show a couple of days ago, oh my God, him and I, we were sitting here, we were cracking jokes left and right, weren't
yeah,
we?
absolutely.
I
Mainly
mean, we
you.
were
You have the
cracking
great.
jokes so much that I actually had to go get a Kleenex to wipe the tears from my eyes. That's how much I was laughing.
We had a great time. We always do
Yeah,
when we chat.
we always do. And I also have a lot of fun looking at the comments and being able to answer people's questions.
It
And,
is. It's a blast.
and I like the one that they put up, hate scammers.
Yeah, exactly. I I know. I think I deleted it and blocked them so they can't come back. But yeah, some of you guys didn't know there was a scammer out here. And
I think I
yeah,
was the first one who called it too.
yeah. I mean, yeah, because it was the longest comment. Yeah, we love looking at the. Marina, I do. I exactly. She says I love looking at the comments. Don't I ever? I love
Well,
it.
Restream.io, I've received 100 messages today with Restream chat.
Yes, it shows up on your side if we get past 100. So
Really? Wow.
yes, and um, they'll some because a lot of people watch the replay, so a lot more people will be commenting. So
Right.
after we're done. So yes, well that's good. Well, again, I do appreciate always you coming on. This is
Right.
wonderful. I had a great time, and everybody else being here. Thank you so much.
I
Um,
think everybody else had a really good time too. That no matter where we are in the world, we were able to pull up a cup of coffee or a Coca Cola, or if you're
exactly.
like like the English, you like your tea. Uh, that we were all able to pull up a seat and enjoy our favorite beverage and get into a really nice conversation. What a great way to start off the morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And since we've been on, my temperature's got up a whole degree. Oh, I
Wow.
got my oh no, it just went up 5 degrees.
Wow. Ours is
Um
60,
in my
65.
browser. and my browser down here at the bottom where you can't see it.
Yeah.
I got my weather temperature app built into my browser, so as soon as I turn on my computer, it gives me my weather.
Yeah, I see mine too. Well, I'm pointing, but you can't see it. 65.
55 right now. I'm
65.
at
Yeah.
32, so
Wow.
you're still beating me by 23 degrees.
Oh gosh. Well, I'll end the stream. You guys have a great day, and we'll be on right still.
Great chatting with you, Jerry. People,
Absolutely, and everybody else too.
everybody else, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Really gotta enjoyed this. And don't
Good.
forget to get together with me and um
Was it
just
Jenny?
wanna Janine too about us starting an advocate show for us.
Right. Right.